Hey, what's up, guys? It's Alexei Borov. We're going to be talking about monsters that are on the ban list that really have no reason to be on the ban list. A lot of monsters that are currently on the ban list have good reasons to be there, such as Fiberjar being completely obnoxious, Yatagarasu stopping your opponent from playing for 30 turns, and Substitute for just outright FTKing with no downside whatsoever. But there's a few monsters that I feel have no purpose being on the ban list and would be completely healthy to the game if it were to just come off the ban list, maybe if they would be limited, semi-limited, or just completely unlimited altogether. Let's start with Stratos. Now, what Stratos does is essentially just a quick searcher, but I don't know why it's banned. There's no reason for it to be banned. It's not overpowered. Take Necloths for an example. They have, I believe, 6 searchers that they could all have 3 of. Clifforths right now, they have a searcher that searches out their searcher that searches once per turn. It's absurd. So I think this can come back, maybe semi-limited, limited, I'm not sure, but it could definitely come back. Next I'm going to talk about is Cyberstein. I think Cyberstein can come back completely unlimited and it would have virtually no impact on the game whatsoever. The reason I say this is because in order to activate its effect, you have to pay 5,000 life points. So right off the bat, even if you top deck into this card turn 1, you're going to be at 3,000 life points. And it's not like you could special summon anything more than just a quick beater, because the majority of fusion cards that have really good effects, or are really good in general, can only be fusion summoned with 2 specific monsters. Like this, for example. It specifically, Cyber End Dragon, it specifically says, a fusion summon of this card can only be conducted with the above fusion material monsters. You can't, the only way to summon this is to use Cyber Dragon, Cyber Dragon, Cyber Dragon. So it's mostly just going to be lesser beaters. Next I'm going to talk about is Morphing Jar number 1. The reason I think this can come off the ban list, I think it would be healthy to put this at least 1, maybe limit it, because most decks can play this, and it'll be like a nice tech in for the deck. It'll be a quick draw 5 if you're in a sticky situation. Your opponent gets to draw 5, so it's not just you. I think it would be a bad idea to put it at 3. Maybe 2, but not 3. Because when you put it at 3, it becomes a lot more consistent for those OTK deck out decks where you have your opponent mill like 40 cards in one turn. But it could definitely come back to 1. Next is Morphing Jar number 2. This, I think, would have to come back at 1. Because at 2 or 3, it's too prevalent in decks that abuse it. What it does is, when it's flipped, it returns all monsters on the field to the respective decks. Your opponent then, they essentially mill cards until they mill that many monsters that were sent, and they special summon those monsters. If they were level 4 or lower, I believe. Special summon that level. Yeah, level 4 or lower. So it has an interesting effect. It gets around a lot of meta cards that, let's say, can't be targeted, can't be destroyed, can't be banished, because it just returns everything to the deck. I think if this came back at 1, it would definitely be almost healthy for the game, I think. Not 2 or 3, though, because then you just get loops and loops and loops, and it's stupid. Next is a card I'm very passionate about, Thousand Eyes Restrict. It's actually my favorite card in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd love to make a deck around it, but unfortunately, it's banned for some reason. What this card's effect is, other monsters cannot change their battle positions or attack. Once per turn, you can equip one monster that your opponent controls to this card, maximum 1. This card's attack and defense becomes the same as the equipped monster. If the equipped monster were to be destroyed by battle, if this monster would be destroyed by battle, the equipped monster is destroyed instead. Now, the first thing, other monsters cannot change their battle positions or attack. Thousand Eyes Restrict is the only thing that can attack, including your monsters. Your monsters, other than this, cannot attack. So this is going to be the only thing hitting. This is going to be the only thing hitting your opponent. Next, it's not immune to any form of effect. You can Man-Eater Bug this, Regeki, Dark Hole, Mirror Force, summon Tenki Bear Pop. You could do anything you want to kill this, and it's not exactly easy to summon. Other than, let's say, Instant Fusion, I believe it's called. It requires Relinquished and Thousand Eyes Restrict, which pretty much no one plays. It'd be fun to make a deck around it, don't get me wrong, but the only strategy I could see in a mainstream deck would be to Instant Fusion this, equip an opponent's monster to it and then just do whatever you want. But those are the cards that I feel are unjustly on the ban list. If you have any other cards that you like on the ban list that you feel have no reason to be there, you talk about it in the description, or in the comments rather. Alright, I'm going to talk about spells next, so I'll see you guys in a moment.